You hear about hacking all the time. It's in the news, it's in movies. The word hacker often conjures up images of shadowy figures in dark rooms, furiously typing away on keyboards, breaking into systems, and causing chaos. But is that the whole story? But what is it really? Hacking, in its simplest form, is the act of finding and exploiting weaknesses in computer systems or networks. It's a broad term that encompasses a wide range of activities, from the benign to the malicious. Basically, it's people messing with computer systems. This can mean anything from writing a clever piece of code to solve a problem, to breaking into a secure network to steal information. The motivations behind hacking can be as varied as the methods used. Sometimes it's for bad, like stealing your credit card. These are the hackers who make headlines, the ones who cause financial loss and personal distress. They exploit vulnerabilities for personal gain, often leaving a trail of victims in their wake. But sometimes it's to get you free stuff, expensive software, completely unlocked. This is where the lines start to blur. Is it still wrong if no one gets hurt? If the only thing being taken is a digital product that the user might not have been able to afford otherwise, like Robin Hood, but for your computer? Is it ethical? Is it even legal? The debate rages on. Some argue that it's a form of digital activism, a way to level the playing field in a world where software can be prohibitively expensive. Others see it as theft, plain and simple. Let's dive in. To understand the complexities of this issue, we need to look at the motivations behind these actions, the impact they have, and the legal and ethical implications. Think about it. Imagine you're a student or a freelancer just starting out. You need powerful software to do your work, but the cost is beyond your reach. You need Photoshop, but it costs a fortune. Hundreds of dollars for a single license. For many, this is simply not an option. Then bam, you find a cracked version online, free. Suddenly, the tools you need are within your grasp. It's tempting, isn't it? Someone somewhere figured out how to bypass the security and give it away. This person might be a skilled programmer who believes that knowledge and tools should be accessible to all, not just those who can afford them. Why would they do that? What drives someone to spend their time and skills on such a task? Is it a sense of justice, a desire to help others, or simply the thrill of outsmarting a system? Are they digital heroes, sticking it to the man? Some see them as modern-day Robin Hoods fighting against the corporate giants who control access to essential tools and information. Or are they just digital criminals? The law is clear on this matter. Unauthorized access to software and systems is illegal, and those caught can face severe penalties. But the moral question is more complex. It's a wild world out there. The digital landscape is constantly evolving, and with it, the rules and norms that govern our behavior. As technology advances, so too do the methods and motivations of those who seek to exploit it. Whether you see them as heroes or villains, one thing is certain. The Robin Hoods of software are here to stay, challenging our perceptions of right and wrong in the digital age. For some hackers, it's not really about the free software, it's about the challenge. Imagine solving a complex puzzle, cracking a code nobody else could. That's a rush. It's like digital mountain climbing. They get recognition from other hackers, respect for their skills. Then there's the ideology. Some hackers believe information should be free. They see big software companies as greedy, charging too much. They think everyone should have access to the tools they need, regardless of their income. It's a David versus Goliath thing, fighting for the little guy. Of course, software companies aren't thrilled about this. The rise of software piracy has become a significant concern for many in the industry. It's not just about losing a few sales here and there. It's about the broader impact on their business models and future innovations. They lose money when people use cracked software instead of buying it. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a major financial hit. Every time someone bypasses the legitimate purchase process, it directly affects the company's revenue stream. This lost revenue could have been reinvested into research and development, potentially leading to new and improved products. It's a huge problem, costing them billions. The financial implications are staggering. Companies often have to cut back on other areas, such as hiring new talent or expanding their services, just to make up for the losses incurred from piracy. This can stifle growth and innovation, making it harder for them to compete in an already challenging market. They try to fight back with complex security measures, making it harder to crack their software. These measures include advanced encryption techniques, regular updates, and sophisticated authentication processes. However, implementing these security protocols is not cheap. It requires a significant investment in both time and resources, but it's a tough battle. Despite their best efforts, software companies often find themselves one step behind the hackers. The stress on cybersecurity teams is immense as they constantly have to anticipate and counteract new threats. This ongoing struggle can lead to burnout and high turnover rates among cybersecurity professionals. Hackers are smart and they're always finding new ways to break in. These individuals are often highly skilled and motivated, working tirelessly to find vulnerabilities in software systems. They collaborate in underground networks, sharing techniques and tools to stay ahead of the latest security measures. It's a constant arms race, with each side trying to outsmart the other. This digital cat-and-mouse game shows no signs of slowing down. As soon as a new security measure is put in place, hackers are already working on ways to circumvent it. This relentless cycle puts immense pressure on software companies to stay vigilant and proactive, and the stakes are high. For many companies, the very survival of their business depends on their ability to protect their software. High-level executives often have to make difficult decisions about where to allocate resources, balancing the need for security with other critical business functions. For some companies, their entire business model is built on selling software. This means that any disruption to their sales can have a catastrophic impact. Teams across the company, from development to sales, feel the pressure to ensure that their products are secure and that customers are willing to pay for them. If people can just get it for free, they're in trouble. The ease with which software can be illegally downloaded poses a significant threat. Companies must continually innovate not just in their products, but also in their methods of protecting those products. The fight against software piracy is ongoing, and the stakes have never been higher. So you're thinking, free software, what's the catch? Well, there are risks. While the allure of free software can be tempting, it's important to understand the potential dangers that come with it. Many users are unaware of the hidden costs and consequences that can arise from downloading and using pirated or cracked software. First off, it's usually illegal. Downloading and using pirated software is a violation of copyright laws, and you could face serious legal repercussions. Law enforcement agencies around the world are cracking down on software piracy, and you could find yourself in hot water if you're caught. The penalties can range from hefty fines to even jail time, depending on the severity of the offense. You could get in trouble with the law. Imagine the embarrassment and stress of having the police show up at your door, all because you wanted to save a few bucks on software. It's just not worth the risk. Legal battles can be long, costly, and emotionally draining, not to mention the damage it can do to your reputation. Plus, you never know what you're really downloading. Those seemingly harmless files could be hiding a multitude of threats. Cybercriminals often disguise malware as legitimate software, tricking unsuspecting users into downloading and installing it. Once on your system, this malicious software can wreak havoc, stealing your personal information, corrupting your files, and even taking control of your computer. Hackers can hide malicious software in those cracked files, like viruses or spyware. These threats can be incredibly difficult to detect and remove, even with the best antivirus software. By the time you realize something is wrong, it might be too late. Your sensitive data, such as passwords, financial information, and personal documents, could already be in the hands of cybercriminals, and if something goes wrong, you're on your own. When you use pirated software, you forfeit any right to technical support or assistance from the software developer. If you encounter issues or your system becomes compromised, you'll have to figure out how to fix it yourself. This can be incredibly frustrating and time-consuming, especially if you're not tech-savvy. No tech support, no updates. Legitimate software developers regularly release updates to fix bugs, patch security vulnerabilities, and improve functionality. When you use pirated software, you miss out on these crucial updates, leaving your system exposed to potential threats. Over time, this can lead to a host of problems, from decreased performance to increased security risks. You're running software that could be unstable, full of security holes. Pirated software is often modified in ways that can make it less reliable and more prone to crashes. This instability can cause you to lose important work, waste time troubleshooting issues, and generally have a less enjoyable and productive experience. It's like driving a car with no brakes. You might be able to get where you're going, but the journey will be fraught with danger and uncertainty. Just as you wouldn't drive a car that you know is unsafe, you shouldn't use software that could put your digital life at risk. You might get where you're going, but it might not be pretty. The potential consequences of using pirated software far outweigh any perceived benefits. From legal troubles to security risks, the dangers are real and significant. It's always better to invest in legitimate software, ensuring you have access to updates, support, and a safer, more reliable computing experience. So next time you're tempted by the promise of free software, remember the risks and make the smart choice. This is where things get complicated. Is it okay to steal software if you can't afford it? Is it okay if you think the company is charging too much? There are no easy answers. It's a moral gray area. Some people argue that software piracy is theft, plain and simple. Others say it's a form of protest against corporate greed. And then there are those who just don't care. They just want the software. Where do you stand? It's a question worth thinking about.